Alright, so we got a new trailer for Venom coming out this October from Sony Pictures Entertainment. And this trailer revealed a lot of very interesting things about the film that had been rumored, that had been discussed. Now we know for certain what is and what isn't in it. Well, we don't know for certain, but we did get some confirmations from this trailer. Now, I do want to say this because I know we have people who watch these videos that aren't hardcore fans, don't really follow the news. This film, even though Venom is a Spider-Man character and it is in association with Marvel, this film is not part of the MCU. It was confirmed about a month ago. We have been discussing this for a while. Venom is not part of the MCU at all. This is its own sort of standalone universe, which is being rumored to be called the Spider-Verse, even though there's a Spider-Verse movie coming out very soon that's animated. This is something totally different. The idea that Sony's going to go with is that they're going to have their own sort of cinematic universe, which they tried to do with Amazing Spider-Man. Didn't really work out. This is their second attempt at it, but it all depends on how well this movie does. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break down the trailer scene by scene, give you my thoughts and my comparisons to the comics, and we're going to go through all this stuff. So sit back and relax. Go ahead and watch this thing together, and I'll give you my thoughts, and we'll go through, as we go through, I'll tell you, what I think and whatnot. So here we go. I love that shot right there. I mean, it just shows the power of Venom. I love that shot. He's going to eat some dude's face. All right, and they of course say Venom new trailer. If there's, New York City. Again, it's not in the MCU, but I'll tell you what, it sure as heck looks like it could be. But it doesn't really match the tone that well. But it matches it, I think, enough to where it's interesting for it to be fit, but it's not part of the MCU. It's definitely not. Which might bother some people. I don't know what to say about that.
I'm Eddie Brock. I'm a reporter.
So, alright, he says, I'm Eddie Brock, I'm a reporter. Now, it's going to be interesting to look at this movie because those of you familiar with the comics, you know that Eddie Brock is a reporter, that's correct, but his main rival is Peter Parker. In fact, Peter Parker is one of the reasons as to why he even, would even become Venom, because Parker had the black costume, the symbiote, as they said in the first trailer, and then Eddie Brock got it, and he actually learned all these secrets from Spider-Man, including his powers, and who he really was, because the symbiote had the knowledge, you know what I mean, the alien symbiote. But it appears like what they're doing here is they're not even going to have Parker even be a part of the story. It's going to be Eddie Brock as if he was a regular sympathetic character. Venom will not be a villain based on everything we're seeing here, which is kind of a bummer because the Venom storyline is one of my favorite ones from Spider-Man.
I always seem to find myself questioning something the government may not be looking at.
Yeah, so I guess he's a conspiracy guy. I'm not really sure. Now, this character right here is going to be interesting because, we'll talk about it as we go through.
I found something really bad.
So, obviously, he discovers some kind of cover-up. And obviously, the government, in this version of the story, okay, the government seems to have been experimenting on the symbiote. Some company, I think they call it the Life Company, the Life Corporation, I think it is. Life Foundation. I double checked here on my notes. They have been experimenting on the symbiote. Now, obviously, in the original comic, that's not what happened at all. Spider-Man went to go fight in the Secret Wars. He found the symbiote there. Then later on, the symbiote left Spider-Man, or Spider-Man dumped it, and it went to Eddie Brock. In the animated version and some of the other versions, what happened was J. Jonah Jameson's son brought it from space, and I think that's what they did for Spider-Man 3, if I remember. It's been a while. So the movie, I mean. So this version, the government is already well aware of the symbiote's power, based on what we're seeing here.
And I have been...
Not the government, the Life Foundation, excuse me.
Who said that?
Now, you let me go back for a second. You can hear the voice of the symbiote speaking to him there.
And I have been...
Eddie, okay. Now, this movie, I'm going to go see the movie, okay, obviously. This movie is right now borderline for me as far as it might be a little too wacky. Which, again, I like wacky. It might be a dumb movie. I like the voice of Venom. I really love it, actually, the symbiote. But it's very, very cartoony. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's what it is. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take this movie seriously or not. You know what I'm saying?
Who said that? Taken.
And that's the symbiote becoming one with him, you know.
Look around at the world. What do you see?
Now that voiceover, right? I believe that voiceover is Riz Ahmed playing the character of Carlton Drake. But here's the thing: we have to discuss actually what's happening here, because there's some confusion about Carlton, like this character and who he is. Okay, Carlton Drake is not Carnage. We have to get that fixed up. That's Riot. Okay, Riot is a different symbiote. It's not. It's basically a body hopping symbiote. It is not Carnage. We actually are going to see a shot of Riot coming up here in this trailer. That's not Carnage at all. That's somebody totally different. However, Woody Harrelson's in this movie, and there has been, rumors that Woody Harrelson is playing the part of Cletus Cassidy, who eventually will become Carnage, probably in a future Spider-Verse film if they're going to make that. Which again is weird because Carnage, you kind of need Spider-Man for that storyline. I mean, you don't need him, but I think he's important. So that's not Venom. That's not Carnage. Making sure it's clear for everyone.
A planet on the brink of collapse.
Yeah, so this guy's basically a mad scientist-driven maniac, typical for all these movies.
Human beings are disposable, but man
Sociopathic, typical stuff for these villains.
and symbiote combined. This is a new race, a new species,
There's the body hopper right there, Riot.
a higher life form. What do you want from me?
No, and it's like the symbiote really likes Eddie Brock for some reason and is attaching himself to it. Now, the thing about in the comics is that the symbiote liked Eddie Brock because Eddie Brock had a similar hatred for Peter Parker like the symbiote did, because the symbiote was dumped by Spider-Man. It felt abandoned by Spider-Man, so they kind of combined that hatred. Remember, the alien symbiote is a living organism. It has to combine with a host, but it still has its own thoughts and memories and attitude, I guess you could say.
You'll find out.
Now he's starting to develop his powers. And we see a lot more of Venom in this trailer, by the way. Of course, another car chase scene. You can't have a superhero movie without one. I like the property damage there.
Cannot just hurt people.
Yeah, he's saying you can't just hurt people, because the one thing about Venom's character that we have to hammer home is that he's not a villain that actually enjoys. He's not sociopathic. Eddie Brock in the comic hated Peter Parker, but he didn't hate everyone. And so that's why he calls himself the Lethal Protector. He protects people. He's actually somewhat of an anti-hero in a way. He hates Parker. Yes, he is a villain, quote unquote, but he does not hurt people. And that's the thing, is Eddie has to control this thing.
Look into my eyes, Eddie.
Coming out like a damn worm.
See it. We can do whatever we want.
Whatever we want. I like the voice. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It sounds awesome.
Do we have a deal? Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
I love that line. Eyes, pancreas, so many snacks, but so little time. Like, that is a Venom line, even though I kind of wish he was a little bit more Neanderthal-ish. He seems a bit smart here. One thing that they got right, we have to give them credit for this. This is how Venom is supposed to look. They really got the Venom look down pat. They really did. This is the best looking Venom we've ever seen in a movie. Spider-Man 3's Venom was way too lanky and small and just not intimidating. This is how Venom is supposed to look. Big, powerful, and slimy. I love that he can block the bullets. There's Michelle Williams playing the part of Anne, his Eddie's girlfriend.
Power. It's not completely awful.
Yeah, he's like, I'm starting to like this power.
You have no
See,
idea
look how big he is. I mean, he looks awesome, man.
how much you're scaring me right now.
Eddie, cooperate.
Now I guess that's the body hopper again right there with that girl.
And you just might survive.
I love this, you know, the SWAT team coming up on Eddie, yo.
You do not want to do this, trust me.
He's gonna take all these punks out, yo. The world has enough superheroes. I like that. This whole thing is like, Venom is not a superhero, even though it's a superhero movie. He's not a superhero. He's his own guy, but he is a hero. I mean, he's gonna be the main character of this movie. He's gonna be a good guy, but it's like the whole thing, like, yeah, this is not your typical superhero movie, which is a good way to promote this movie.
Giant leaps will always come.
And by the way, he falls in fire. For those who don't know, fire is a weakness of the symbiote in the comics, so I do wonder if that's going to be incorporated into this film. And there we have Riz Ahmed again, Carlton Drake, and he's become Riot. And again, because of this shot right here, people think that that's actually Carnage. It's not. It's a totally different symbiote. But Carnage does have similar powers, so I can't really blame somebody for thinking that, but no, it's not Carnage. I love this shot right here. It's Venom versus Riot. I love it. That's going to be the big fight at the end of the movie, obviously. It's very similar. Look at that shot right there. Look at that. It's very, very similar to, like, the Hulk versus the Abomination. Kind of like how they both have this kind of, like, parallel, you know, life going. You know, it kind of reminds me of that. You know, I wanted to show you guys real quick some shots from the comic. You know, like this scene right here where he's puking up... He's puking up Venom. I love that shot right there. It kind of reminds you of this shot right here. And then, of course, with the half face, which they do. There's the half face right there. There's the half face of Eddie Brock. You know, real slimy, disgusting stuff here. But that's just the Venom character. So at least aesthetically speaking, they've got the character down. The powers seem to be accurate. They haven't screwed this up yet. We'll see how the movie is, though. I'm guessing it'll be okay at the very least. The music's pretty cool. I love it.
We'll eat both your arms and then both of your legs, and then we will eat your face right up your head. You will be this armless, legless, faceless thing, won't you? Rolling down the street.
I love it. You will be this armless, legless, faceless. Again, that is very much a Venom line.
Legless, faceless thing, won't you? Rolling down the street like a turd in the wind.
Like a turd. That's total Venom right there.
What the hell are you?
We are Venom.
Does he actually eat the guy?
Oh, I have a power to say. Yeah. Name is Chen.
I wonder if he's actually going to eat the dude. I don't know. It looks like he does. Anyways, October 5th, Venom in theaters. What do you think about the movie? I think this trailer is pretty fun. I'm not expecting it to be a great film by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be wacky and goofy, I think. And as long as I'm entertained, that's fine. But it could suck, too. I mean, I don't really know what to say on it. The trailer doesn't give me enough information. As long as the story's interesting, great. Special effects look fine. And the voice is okay to me. It's wacky. Sorry about that noise there. So what do you think? Let me know. And we'll discuss it in the coming months. See you soon.